Hey there YouTube, this is sjm4306 back with another video. This time it's another EKSA video. They've already sent me two headphones, like two over-the-ear headphones, a pair of Bluetooth wireless earbuds, and this is their fourth send-in, and this is actually different. And that's why I took this one, which kind of coincides with a need that I've been finding more recently. Now, I'm sure many of you who do work in offices, you've returned to the office by now, but I definitely remember that period of time when, we had the shutdown and I was working from home and I still needed to attend web meetings. And even now, our policy still favors, unless if it's absolutely necessary, it still favors web meetings, as well as we have some overseas investors that we need to occasionally have web meetings with. And so I'll generally use just a pair of headphones, and usually the mics aren't so great. Usually they're tailored towards the music output and not necessarily the input end. So usually the mics are pretty wimpy on those. But this should hopefully solve that. This is an EKSA Telecom. And it's supposedly, you can just about see, it's actually kind of hard to see, you have to hold it at an angle, AI-powered ENC, so it has like noise cancellation, sort of like beam-forming stuff, I'm guessing. Wireless headset, and it does include a Bluetooth adapter, and it is Bluetooth, by the way, and it has a wireless charging cradle thing, and this model is specifically the H5, and it says be heard anywhere. We'll see about that. And yeah, here we go. Yeah, it just has the same marking points here. It says 75, I guess, grams. Okay, yeah, ultra lightweight design. Interesting aesthetic with the matte black cardboard and this gold orange kind of printing. Anyway, yeah, specifically has a 400 milliamp hour battery, sensitivity 125 dB, 30 millimeter diameter speaker, full range frequency, Bluetooth 5.0. The adapter is a 5.21, so I guess it's just a standard Bluetooth adapter. You can use it with anything. My computer luckily does have built-in Bluetooth, so I probably won't really need to use the adapter. But yeah, and it comes with your standard rigmarole of accessories that their headphones always come with really good accessories that are actually useful. So I'm happy to see that. Let's just crack this guy open. More orange. It also says be heard anywhere. And this just looks like just packaging, nothing in here. We have two things in here. This guy is undoubtedly the charging stand. Yep. Has decent weight to it, so there's probably metal plates that they put in. But that's good because I don't want this to fall over while it's charging. And I was thinking it was maybe electromagnetic, maybe there's wireless coil charging, but it does look like they're using little pogo pins, but they are gold plated. So hopefully that stands up to any sweat or moisture. And oh, that's really clever. So the wireless Bluetooth transceiver it comes with stows away in the base. So that's actually really well thought out. So chances of losing that are lower as long as you put it back each time. There is a Type-C plug for charging and what looks like a little power indicator. Yeah, very nicely made. The plastic is nice and thick and strong. So that's good to see. Next up, we have the headphones themselves, which feel very soft. There's this foam. It feels like the same kind of foam that they use on their headphones, which, well, duh, makes sense. But yeah, it's this very soft plush foam. There isn't so much give because, it's only about ½ an inch thick or something. But yeah. The other side is a TPU rubber. So it does have a bit of a flex, has a bit of a curve, so it's supposed to sit, I guess, on your head right above your ear. The band itself is just spring steel, it feels like. How much adjustability is there? So basically from here to here. So it gives you about 1.5 inches, 2 inches extra extension, depending on how big your melon is. And there isn't really any articulation side to side. There's a little bit, I guess, just because of the clearance between the metal and the plastic here, but not really super much. But it does kind of rotate along the steel. So, I mean, there's a little bit of give that way. Pretty interesting design. The mic does swing out of the way, and it has like really nice detents. And I think this did say somewhere that it was like left or right compatible, so you can have the earpiece on whichever side of your head you want, and you just swing the mic in the correct orientation. So that's really good. And there is a dedicated mute button on the mic itself, so I really like that. And the mic itself is articulatable. It's like kind of rubbery with, I guess, metal in it. There must be like a metal wire, because it will kind of keep its position. So that's actually really nice. I like that. And even up down as well. So that's cool. There is a single hole for the mic. Sorry about that. And some kind of texturing on the plastic there. We'll actually have to see how good the mic sounds. On the unit itself, there's, I guess, if you wanted to charge it directly, not using the stand, there is a Type-C connector, volume up, volume down, and then power. And we have our charging contacts on the bottom. So, oh, it's magnetic, even better. So yeah, once you get it close enough, it'll just sort of click in. And yeah, I mean, it's slightly wobbly, but the magnets actually do kind of pull it into position. So yeah, that looks pretty neat. A really nice bag. Ooh, I like this bag. A lot of their bags are like kind of the sort of feels like pleather. This is actually like a really nice suede bag. Just like super soft. I like this. Has their logo on here, the name of the product, drawstring, and warranty information, etc., etc. But yeah, that's a really nice bag. Definitely get some use out of that. We have a Type-C cable. They're really going in with the gray / dark kind of an orange theme. Even the USB cable is similarly colored. So yeah, let's grab a battery bank and see how charging works for this. So just gonna plug this end into here. It's very interesting, like texture grips too, to help you pull on the plugs. Other way, it's always the other way. And so yeah, the light comes on, red to show it's plugged in, and then when I put these in, is something supposed to light up? Does it? Ah, there's an LED hidden. So yeah, there is a hidden LED. It lights up red, and it probably either turns off or turns blue when it's done charging. But yeah, that's interesting that it's hidden by the arm. Would have been nice if it were like on this point, or I don't know, somewhere where even if you have the mic retracted, you could still see it. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. You just move the mic out of the way there. And yeah, that's charging right now. So what I'm going to do is actually put these on, and I'm going to have a few conversations with them. And because they're Bluetooth, this should work with like my Android tablet and my phone. So I might actually use this to have some phone calls, and as well as listen to music, because I know you're not going to be listening to music on this. That's not the purpose of it. Especially be kind of weird because there's only one earpiece. But I want to see what like the actual audio quality is outside of, you know, video conferencing and whatnot. So give me 1 second to run these in. 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3. This is a test of the EKSA H5 wireless Bluetooth headset with a microphone built in. And yeah, this is just to get a sense of what the audio quality is like. I'm currently recording over Bluetooth, of course, to my smartphone. Recording at 256 kbps MP3, 48 kilohertz sample rate, etc., etc. So this should be a pretty good indicator of what the actual quality of the mic itself is. Okay, so I guess we're doing the DankPod style story time thing that he does. I did it on the last video where I recorded the headset with a built-in mic, so I guess I'm going to continue the tradition. So yeah, one time, my buddy and I, we used to always go up to MIT every year around spring or summer, I believe. They would hold like a, I don't think it was related to MIT, it just happened to be near them, a ham fest. And so you would go there, and they had a bunch of sellers who set up. They sold like everything you could think of, obviously ham equipment, uh, old computer equipment. There's a lot of like tech companies there and whatnot. So there's a history of like a bunch of old like industrial sort of equipment. I remember they sold lab equipment. I got my first oscilloscope, which was like a really old CRT based oscilloscope. I got that for like $10 or something. Like as they were closing, the guy really wanted to get rid of it. So yeah, I got a lot of really good stuff. And one time, my buddy he drove us up. I was in Connecticut at the time, so it was like maybe an hour drive, something like that. And as we were returning, he realized that he left his keys in the car, and that was our only means of getting back. So what we ended up doing was, it was an older car, so we wanted to try to jimmy the lock open so that we can get in, get the keys, and then just drive home, et cetera, et cetera. And we couldn't find any coat hangers. The market was about to close down, so we had to hurry. All we could find that could possibly use was like a pretty long whip antenna. So my friend bought this antenna and a pair of like cheap pliers, and he bent it into like a little hook, and we basically shimmed it past the weather seal on the window, got it down into it, and then proceeded for like half an hour to try to catch the lock part to actually unlock the door, because it was all mechanical. His car was an older model, and we finally succeeded and got into the car, unlocked it, and yeah, so that was an interesting experience. Never had to break into someone's car ever in my entire life before then. Well, it wasn't really breaking into it, it was his car, clearly. But yeah, we were just glad like no police officer drove by at that exact moment, because that would have looked pretty pretty sketch. Three guys huddled around a car with a with antenna bent into an impromptu uh, car breaking into device. But yeah, that was definitely an experience. It's been a few years since I've been down there, but I'd like to go back one day. Okay, so I don't remember if I mentioned this before, just before I get into it. Pricing on this is currently about $50, I believe. There is some kind of sale going on that they're having. So yeah, hopefully I can get this video out real quick before that ends. Retail price on this is marked as I think like $80. So yeah, this isn't something I would normally buy for myself for personal use, clearly, because there's only one ear pad. You can't really use these like headphones, and it's kind of weird listening only through one ear. I did actually test this with music. It sounds okay. It's actually surprisingly bass heavy. I would have thought that, kind of being marketed towards, the telecom sector, that this would be more mid-range and high-end, because that's where people's voices tend to lie. But yeah, it's kind of bass heavy for what it is. Obviously, you can tune the EQ to compensate for that. But just naturally on its own, just listening to music, I was kind of surprised. It's pretty woofy. So yeah, the mic is fairly clear. I only listened it through my phone, so I'll probably end up listening to with really good headphones during editing. So I'll probably put some extra text stuff down here, or maybe while the sample clips are playing. But yeah, it seemed clear enough. The people I was talking to didn't seem to have any issues hearing what I sounded like. And but yeah, like I said, it's interesting that they tuned it pretty bass heavy for what it is. And comfort, it's okay. I really like this side of it because it's like super plush, and this side's comfortable. This little rubber thing could have used some padding on it, because it does tend to kind of bother the side of your head where it's clipped on after a little while, because it is rubber, so it's not like hard plastic, but it does kind of like dig into your head a little bit the longer you have it on there. So definitely, if you're gonna get a pair like this, I would actually just like buy some like weather strip foam and just cut out a pad to stick on there, and that would make this perfect. But yeah, I really like how soft and plush the headphone side is, and it's fairly light. not really, you know, super heavy or anything, so it's not gonna make your head tired after a little while. And I really like the fact that you can like really adjust the exact positioning of the microphone to suit you. The buttons on either side are really useful for changing volume without having to mess with the computer side of things. And additionally, I really appreciate that they include a Bluetooth adapter. Not every computer has Bluetooth. Mine does, so I ended up just using the built-in Bluetooth. But yeah, it's nice that they include a little dongle for you in case you don't. And the charging stand is also really nice, just to keep this on your desk in a neat way and keep it charged up. Want to predominantly use this like if you work a call center job or have a lot of web meetings, fine. You can also, like I said, use this to listen to music like in between meetings or whatever, and it's okay for that. Clearly I would have preferred to have like a second speaker in that case, but I did appreciate the fact that even on Android, all these buttons function the way that you think they would. The volume buttons controlled the volume within Android, and then the power button basically acted as like a play pause. If you just clicked it once, it would cycle play pause in whatever media player you're using. So that was a nice attention to detail that they're passing those commands along like in the correct format for Android to determine them as button presses. Yeah, overall, pretty nice headset to have if you're in the need for it. They do sell other headphones. I've had a really good impression of a lot of their headphones. They tend to make like a lot more gamer centric. So I was actually really surprised when they asked me to review a headset that was a lot less flashy and blingy and just for business side of things. That kind of generally surprised me. So, but yeah, it was a pleasant surprise. But yeah, the mic button being on the mic itself, not sure. I mean, it makes sense, I guess, logically, if you think about it, and that's a good place to put it. But if you click it while you're on a call, obviously it's right there, so it's going to make kind of a loud clicking sound on the other end, whoever's listening to you. So I think maybe it would have been better to put it somewhere on the headset itself, so it's a little bit more discreet. The way it works is they do like debalance it, so you can't just click it quickly to mute or unmute. You actually have to hold it for about a second or two, and you'll hear a voice prompt in the ear saying, you know, mic audio on or mic audio off. So that's I think a realistic way of getting the information to you, whether it's on or off. Clearly they can't put a light on it because you can't see your own head. For a lot of the headsets I review that have wired mics, it makes sense to put it on the inline control because then you can physically see what state it's in quickly. But in this case, you can't put an indicator on the headset itself because you're wearing the headset, so you can't see it. So yeah, I can understand why they went with the audio prompt. So anyway, if you guys are interested, I'll have links to this guy in the description down below. If you have any specific questions, feel free to put them down below as well. And once again, huge thanks to EKSA for sending this in. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.